health and safety up here.
Sorry, mind that hazard.
Yeah. Hi, so Eoin Hogan, so I'm the Rural Recreation Officer for County Clare. So I'll just go through this kind of journey for digital transformation of trail monitoring and then moving on to trail management. So what I'm showing here is kind of the way we used to monitor our trails. So it was a very basic paper-based system. So what we did literally, we just took a map of our trail. We designed this up with boxes. We basically sent this out. I used that myself as the trail manager and monitor. I'd walk the trail, put an X where there was an issue, try to color code it in some way to show what the issue was. We then had trail monitors. These were generally walking guides who walked that area. We would post them out a number of these monitoring sheets. We give them stamped address envelopes. We asked them to send them back. It was all a little bit chaotic, and you can see the downside of that. If they put an X in the wrong place, it could be a kilometre away where it should be. So it was very inaccurate. So what we wanted to move to was a kind of a trail monitoring system with lots of different inputs. So what we have in terms of the monitoring, we've got our IoT devices on the trails, which is generally people counters and stuff like that. We've got our volunteer monitors out monitoring the trails using an app, which gives us more accuracy. We've got the trail manager itself, so myself, monitoring the trails using the app as well. And then the trail users on the trail itself giving a feedback, giving this kind of total input of a system. With the trail monitors, these are just general IoT devices, quite similar to the other presentation we've had before. So we've got people counters, the exact same structure you've seen before. We've got flood sensors. We use those for in County Clare in the Burren. We've got a lot of turlocks, lakes that go up and down depending on the water level. So you can't tell now if the trail is flooded or if it's not. So we've got water sensors on those to tell us if the trail is flooded. We use kind of bin sensors on one or two trails as well, just to see if the bins need to be changed. Very similar to the other presentations we've had there before. So again, we've got the people counters on the trails. They're all geolocated, so we know exactly where they are on the trails. We can lock in, it's all live, it's all via network. We don't use satellite, we use a SimFox, which is like a lower level a mobile phone network basically. So it all feeds in live, all the counters into the back end system. Then you can look, you can check the database, you can see very similar here, the time of day, when people came, what month of the year, all that information, all built up in the background. The one area we work with is our volunteer trail monitors, which has been, I would say, very successful in the sense of I've got 22 trails in Clare that I'm not all that I directly manage, but some that I'm all involved in. So what I do is we trained up a number of volunteer trail monitors. We got funding to train those up. We use an app, kind of a simplified version of our trail monitoring app. We show them how to use the app, and they kind of adopt a section of trail, which they go out and they use the app, walk the trail, report back any issues that they find, and then just hit sync on the app, and it all goes up into the back end for me to see. So again, the 3 months is the criteria needed for your Sports Ireland, for the Sports Ireland insurance. We need to monitor our trails every 3 months. In terms of then the trail manager myself, so then we've got the full back end of the system. So again, it's just a more detailed version of the version that the trail monitors would use. So we would have different surveys for different parts of the trails. So we would look at, it could be signage, it could be trail conditions, it could be invasive species, and we'd have dedicated surveys for those. But then we can also design our own surveys if we need those. Things like, I did a gate survey, I had a laneway, and had to put signs on the side of all the gates as we went up this laneway. So I just designed a survey to show me how many gates there were. I want to take a picture of each of the gates. Was it a 4-bar or 5-bar gate? What sign was needed? And then just uploaded the survey onto the app, walked the trail, recorded the issues, took photos of them, and then it geolocates those pictures to the map. And the other handy thing that we use is audio notes as well. You can record into the phone an audio note of you going along, which saves you writing down, which is very handy in bad weather when you don't want to try to tap your phone when you've got the screen. And then that just all goes into the back end that you see. So each of the surveys that you record goes onto the back end, and they're geolocated to a certain point on the map. Then I suppose we move on to a few other kind of interesting photos that we're working on. So this is my trail photo post. This is my demonstrator here. So this is your standard marker post. So then this is just a manufactured stainless steel post to hold your phone. So what you do is you put your phone in the post, you take your photo. It could be a selfie, it could be a photo of the area, and then when you touch the sign, it automatically sends the picture to our website. So what we do is this is using NFC technology. So this is the same technology that you use when you pay in a shop, when you tap your phone in a shop. So there's no electricity, there's nothing needed in the sign itself. So the sign just looks like this, like a normal standard sign. It's got your standard information, it's got a QR code, it's got your NFC chip. So the sign itself costs about 14 euros, it's a standard sign. The little chip costs about 30 cents. So then you just program the chip using an app to say, anyone, if your phone touches this chip, bring me to this website, which opens up the website. And then when you go to the website, the photo gets sent to me as the website manager, and then obviously, being sensible, I have to approve the photo before it goes onto the website, or God knows what you get up there. So I approve the photo, it goes onto the website, and then we get a gallery for the site. So what we try to use, we use it for two things. What we're trying to do is encourage people to take photos in safe locations. This is more on dangerous trails, like we've got the Cliffs of Moher in Clare, the busiest walking trail in the country. And what we don't want is people hanging over the edge of the Cliffs of Moher taking a photo. We want to say, please take the photo over here where it's safer, where you can go. And also then just to keep an eye on sections of trail. If there's a section of trail we want to keep an eye on, we put these photo holders onto the marker post in that area. And then the final advantage is that you're adding it to existing infrastructure in the environment. So you don't have to put a new post in the ground, which obviously from an environmental point of view is much better. All that then feeds into the trail management section, which is all about the task management. So once we use our surveying, we find an issue, we then have the issue noted in the backend system, and then we can select that system. We can say we want to allocate the task of fixing that to, it could be myself as the trail manager myself, it could be we'd have rural social scheme or a trail crew who work on the trails, or a contractor. And we can, within the system, send them an email and say, look, this is the work you need to do. There's the location, there's the description of what has to be done. We send them the email. Once they do it, they can use the system to confirm they've done it by clicking on a link within the system. They don't have to be logged in, that's just a remote link. And then that's recorded in the system as well. So again, when it comes back to your monitoring or your trail inspection, you can show all the issues you found, you can show how they were fixed, all within the one system. We've kind of got a paper way of doing that as well, because some of our trail crew wouldn't be super IT wise, so we can print off literally in a PDF, print it off to them, hand it to them, they can hand it back to me, and I can confirm that it's been done as well. What this will show you a model in terms of, I suppose, moving on to kind of the trail management side of it. What we did was we flew a drone over Ennistimon, a town in West Clare. So what we've done is we've flown the drone over the town. This is like our demonstration site, because we've got a trail just on the edge of the town. So we can look at the town, we can look at the trail. And the drone, obviously you're getting a full 360 modelling of the town and the area. But I think that's not super hard to do. Anyone could do that in theory with a drone. But what we're going to do is layer over the surveys that we found onto the 3D map. So again, what you're seeing is just demonstration sites here, different pictures and different things. So this can be used for accessibility if you want to show, people want to see what a certain site looks like or a certain location looks like. Or from a kind of tourism point of view, you want to promote a tourism location. You can use it like a visitor attraction management system in terms of a point of interest. Let's just finish now. Then the area connected with this then was in terms of accessibility. So what we did was we used the trail management system for this Sports Ireland production, or publication, which is the accessibility in the great outdoors. So what this was a manual using for you can assess your outdoor site for accessibility. So it could be a beach, it could be a trail, it could be a park. And there was a course going with this. So I went on the course, saw how this was done, and in the back of the manual there's a load of forms that can be filled in. So via the course, you were shown how to do that. You had to take photos with a camera or your digital or your phone. You had to fill in a manual form. So what we did was just automate that by bringing it all into the Waywise system, this trail management system. So you're able to use a dedicated survey for each of could be your beach, could be your greenway, could be your trail. You can take pictures. It geolocates the pictures onto the map, so it knows you took a picture at exactly that point. And then you've got drop-down menus for your surveys, so you can see how many accessible car parks there is, how wide the trail is in these different sections. And then if you really want to do that, you can output the report then in the exact same format as this publication as well. So you're getting that consistency along it. So this is the manual that we went along. So this is your baseline then. When you've done your surveys, each of the surveys is geolocated onto the map. But then what we did is we did a 360-degree camera, literally a GoPro camera, where we recorded the trail as well as you go along. So as you go along, you can walk the trail, a bit like Google Street View, obviously, but it's off-road on the trail. You can see full 360 degrees around. And then as you come to each point, you can see that accessibility point. So if you're a person who's interested in going to the trail, you're able to look at that trail in advance of coming. You can see the 360-degree footage of the trail. You can see exactly what this looks like. And then you can see the 3D vision of the trail as well from above, which shows you the topography. Is it up on the hill or downhill? It gives you a great vision of it. And obviously then you can do things for seating. You can add all these different layers within that as well. And it all feeds into the one system. And that's about it. And the final thing we talk about is what we call this is a kind of tip to tap for trails, basically. So this is the big issue we have with the trails, is finding this ongoing funding to fund the trails. If you want 10,000 euros to develop a new trail, there's kind of places to get that. But if you want 1,000 euros a year just to replace that bridge or a bit of gravel, very hard to get that. So what we did was we developed this donation system. The old days you would have a donation box, as we've all seen these. Basically, you put the box inside the trail, you put your coins or your notes in. Obviously there's massive downsides to that. You have to empty it every night. They could be vandalised, could be robbed. But I think the other issue is that nobody's carrying cash anymore, you know. Nobody has cash in their pockets, and if they have cash in their pockets, they definitely don't have it on the side of a mountain when they go up a mountain. So how are you going to get that money out of the person? So what we've done is we've developed, again, just one of our little info plates, again, same cost, you know, less than 20 euros for it. You tap the sign or scan the QR code, and you're opened up to a dedicated donation site for that trail. So then you can pay, basically, you can choose how much to pay, so you're 2 euros, 3 euros, 5 euros, or you can put in the amount. The company who administer this take 8%, but you can choose to pay that 8%. So if you donate 3 euros, the company gets 24 cents and the trail gets 3 cents. You just pay by Google Pay or Google or Apple Pay, and then that donation goes then into the back end. Sorry, I get an email, then everyone donates, I get an email to show me the dates and the individual trail. But the key thing is that each trail has a separate wallet. So the money comes in, if you go to the Burren Way, the money goes into the Burren Way. If you go to the 12 O'Clock Hills, it goes to the 12 O'Clock Hills. So then every 3 months, I just download that money and I send that on to the trail management group themselves. The system was originally developed for restaurants, so if you wanted to tip a server in a restaurant, they had a lanyard with one of these little codes on them, so you could tap them and give that person the money. And that's it for me. Fly through it. Waywiser.com is kind of the main system that we've involved in developing, and kind of hard to read my number there, but that's my email address. I'm sure you'll get it. Thank you.